Looks like we are recording. It looks like we are now streaming on Facebook. So I am going to get things rolling here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you. Good morning to all. My name is David Skultety. I'm checking in from my home in Charleston, South Carolina. And it's a pleasure to be with you guys. For those of you who are new to My Daily Choice, we do this virtual Super Saturday on the first Saturday of every month. And let me tell you what the intent is. The intent is to first and foremost get you off to a right start in your month. You know, in this business of networking and team building and building a network marketing business in general, we go month to month, right? We go month to month. We play the short game, but we also play the long game. So we like to get everybody kind of dialed in and off to the races for their month, number one. Number two, we always invite just really special humans to come and share their wisdom of how to successfully build a My Daily Choice business. And today is no different. We have two super affiliates in the house today to train you, Robert Hollis and Todd Falcone. Dr. Dana McGrady, she's a 100K affiliate, will be doing an amazing piece on social media, most specifically Reels, which is the hottest thing in social media today. We also have a young lady, a leader on the team, Stephanie Schoolmeester, who's going to kind of maybe help you a little bit with your internal kind of mindset and belief a little bit, and help you understand how you can make a bigger impact, not only within this business, but I think within life. And then I'll kind of talk a little bit about leadership, full well knowing that it's not applicable to everybody, but it's a really important dynamic, especially if that's where you kind of aspire to. So with all that said, I am going to really kind of kick things off. I'm going to host this thing for you today. But to kick things off is none other than Robert Hollis. And I think a lot of you know Robert, top super affiliate within My Daily Choice, has been in the industry for dozens of years and has been very successful in that pathway. Has a huge passion for people and helping people excel in this business. And so Robert, it's an absolute pleasure, man. It's a pleasure for you to be associated with you in this company and to have you kind of leading the way, not only for your team, but for the company at large. So I'm going to pass this over to you and allow you to have the stage here for a bit.
Well, thank you very much, David. And it's an honor to be on here, especially with David and Todd and Dana and Stephanie. I can't wait I got my notepad ready. Every time I hear these individuals speak, I learn something. And, and for me, I just want to share with you, Todd and I just got off a inner circle meeting on Friday. And I'm telling you what, it's crazy. I just turned 60. So even if you're old, you can do this. And, it's just amazing to me that I'm more excited now than I was 35, 36 plus years ago. And let me tell you why. It's to be a part of a movement, to be a part of something that I know that's going to leave a legacy, and also it's going to be a game changer. And for me to be already in the company, I get to announce this early to everyone. Tomorrow is Terry and I's 4th anniversary with My Daily Choice, a company that's 8 years old. So I think Todd probably is applauding, because anyone that could stay in a company more than 2 years is sort of, it's sort of a big deal. It's like, oh my God, that person's a lifer. It is. Me and Todd were definitely taught long-term game, like David talked about. And I know that they'll be sharing that as well. But let me tell you why I'm so excited is, for some of you, please be patient with me, because I'm probably going to sound like your parents or your grandparents. But when Todd and I learned this business, and even David, there was no such thing as the internet. There was no such thing as a cell phone. I was going through some videos yesterday for my son. Todd was nice enough to share me an intro video that he's using at Mastermind. And so I was asked to create one of those. And I was looking through these videos, and I was in the Bahamas, and there was this giant red phone booth. And I just had to take a video of it, because that's old school for me. Had this thing on my belt called a pager, and it would beep, and we had to get to a phone booth to check out whether or not we're confirming an appointment or if it was canceling. And so it's crazy that the place that we are right now. And here's what I would like to share with each and every one of you is that through the pandemic and through all this craziness that is happening in the world with war and everything, you got to sort of think of yourself as like, wow, how blessed are we really? And I don't want to be a downer at the beginning of this. I promise I'll lift you back up. But my number one leader in Russia has a large group in Mongolia. And I hadn't heard from her. So I reached out and I just said, listen, I'm just here to support you, whatever you need. And she says, yeah, I'm not doing very well. And I said, why? And she said, well, my youngest son was drafted into the Russian army, and he's right now in Ukraine. And I'm like, okay, that adjusts me a little bit. You know what I mean? To have one of my children forced into war because I was blessed not to catch the Vietnam thing. You know what I mean? That missed me. And to see the way the world reacted because of a senseless reason to just, you know, have a bunch of people that have too much power want to continue to have power. It's just crazy to me. And I don't want to get into politics, but if you don't get up every morning, and for me in a morning ritual, if you don't, you know, some of you may or may not pray. What pray to me is just, man, just being grateful, just fricking being grateful. And so the number one thing that I've had right now from all my European leaders and why they're working so hard and working so incredible is because they want to do everything in their power to make enough money to get their family to United States. A lot of people don't realize while Russia is attacking Ukraine, that Hungary borders Ukraine, Romania borders Ukraine. And I just don't think people in the United States understand how wonderful we have it here. I can't imagine living in California if I knew that there was war just launched on Nevada. It's like, wait a minute, that's not too far from here. And I can't imagine, you know, the people in their minds, how they're dealing with that. So the first thing I just wanted to say to each and every one of you, if you're not writing down 10 things or 5 things that you're grateful for and really, really go, wow. But with this life, you know, it's sort of a gift, you know, so your existence, whether you believe in a higher power or not, is sort of a gift. And what you do with that gift is your gift back to whoever you believe in. It's like, I know this is going to sound silly to you, but you know, we got some great people on here that are going to talk about mindset, but you know, I haven't lived my best days yet. I just turned 60, and my best days in this industry with network marketing and online marketing, I haven't had my best years yet. Do you guys get that? There's some of you right now that are worried about change, but change is a state of mind. And, you know, some of you could put yourself in a position where, you know, you have the finances, you got money put away, you can get your place and your family to a place of freedom. And God forbid something weird happens. And you have the power, the freedom to make the decisions to put your family in a safe place. And so, you know, I know this is going to sound harsh, but having that opportunity and doing nothing with it, my God, you know, I wish I could take every one of you that are on here, 93 participants and the ones that watch the replay of this, and I wish that, you know, your whole family and your everyone that you know that loves you gets a chance to see this and goes, come on, man. You got a chance to work with Todd Falcone. You got a chance to work with David. You got a chance to work with Stephanie and Dr. Dana. These guys know the path. They already have the treasure map. They know how to get to the treasure. And all you got to do is be willing to humble yourself and follow directions of a proven path. And I recently said this to my team. It's like, where did you get that rebellious thing inside of you that just really honestly just wants to mess everything up? It's like Todd goes, do this, this, and this. And you're like, I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm doing that. And I'm going like, what the hell? Todd and I got success simply by 3 simple things. One, we sat in a room and we both realized that there was someone in front of the room that was making more a month than we knew of anyone making a year. And it immediately excited both of us because, my God, is this really freaking possible? Is this really possible? And then all of a sudden, Todd and I get introduced to testimonials of people that have listened to this guy and following his proven path, and they got results too. So first you're seeing somebody they're going, wow. And then you go, wow, this guy taught this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. And I know Todd and I are different personalities, but I said, man, if I mess this up by 90%, I'm going to make more than I ever made as a mechanic. And, you know, Todd and I giggle all the time when we think about the past. It's like, you see this guy drawing on a chalkboard, you know what I mean? And he's drawing circles and he puts a circle and he puts you. And I'm going like, wow, do you realize that you have premium quality products that are not sold in stores, and you can simply introduce people to them, refer them to them, and if they purchase them, we'll pay you. And I was like, I died and went to heaven. No, it gets better. And he drew a couple lines and he drew a couple more circles. And he says, do you know anyone that needs to make a little extra money? And I was like, everyone I know. Because I grew up, you know, in North Dakota, Montana, and, you know, everyone had a pickup with a bumper sticker on it that the person with the most toys wins. And I'm going like, man, who doesn't want wave runners? Who doesn't want a pontoon that can pull a ski boat? Who doesn't want snowmobiles? You know, who doesn't want a new set of skis? You know what I mean? I'm in my mind going, wow, the possibilities, not just for me, but everyone I know. So are you telling me that if I introduce you to driven people that want to change some portion of their life, that you're going to teach them? I just got to introduce them to you, and you're going to do the same thing to me as you did. You're going to present, you're going to train them, you're going to show them the proven path, and then you're going to pay me off those people too. And I love saying this. From that point on, I didn't understand. If someone would have quizzed me afterwards, I think that we just make this industry and sometimes life just too freaking complicated. Because I've referred people to stuff my whole life. Someone asked me the other day, what do you say when someone asks you what you do? And I said, I am a referrer. I am a referrer. And how many of you think I get a statement after that? It's like the whole goal of an elevator pitch, you could ask Todd, is to say something so simple and easy that it creates excitement and curiosity. People can't help themselves. A referrer, what do you refer? I'm so glad you asked. It's like, wow. It's like, I actually refer people to people that are smarter and better than me that can teach you how to have freedom. If you love your job, you can just double your income. If you love your job, you can make sure your spouse or your children can be taken care of. If you really, really paid attention, you could help enough people, like Zig Ziglar says, you know, help enough people get what they want, and in turn you get what you want. And I'm going like, this business is just so damn easy that we as human beings try to mess it up. And so let me share with you really quick what really makes me successful. I'm extremely simple. I'm really simple. And I grew up in the world of auto mechanics. So I hung around people that built professional race cars. They were my cousins. And I was going, how do you do a brake job? Only one way. Jack up the car. Now take the lug nuts off. No, Robert, that doesn't work. Okay, why? Because every time I turn the lug nuts, the tire spins. I can't stop the tire from spinning. put the car back down, break the lug nuts free first. Okay, now all the lug nuts are free. Now jack the car up. Oh my God, I can take these off with my fingers. One simple thing that Todd, David, Dana, Stephanie, one simple thing that each and every one of you can grab and apply out of this training that you can share with everyone would be, wow, if that's one thing that I have to do in a certain way. So I knew that. I knew that there's only, you only can put a motor together one way. You only can, put a transmission together one way. So when Todd and I was introduced to our mentor and he goes, listen, this is all you got to do. And it was 4 steps to success, right, Todd? And it's like, you got to get excited. You got to get excited. You got to pay attention and just don't freaking quit. It gets so frustrating to me that if I was going to teach you how to play darts, me and Todd can take care of everything for you. You don't have to worry what kind of dartboard to get. We got it. We can afford it. We're going to put it exactly on the wall where it's supposed to be, the right height. We're going to put a mat around it because some of you are not going to be good at the beginning. And I don't need holes in my wall. I'm going to put a mat on the floor. And some of you go, why put a mat on the floor? Because some of the darts actually hit metal and other darts and they fall down, they stick holes in your wood floor. See, these are things that Todd and I know that are landmines. And we'd rather not just have you go, oh my God, Todd, I landed on a mine. There's 2 ways to learn, from your mistakes and from our mistakes. And what people just don't get, and they're so damn stubborn and rebellious, that I don't know if you guys know this yet, but this comp plan actually pays us off you getting results. So this is what Todd and I do. We sit down and we mastermind on things we can come up to share with you guys that would actually get you frustrated, confused, and get no results, because the goal that Todd and I want is you to quit. It's like people are like, I'm not doing it that way. You know what I mean? I'm going like, why wouldn't you try it that way? I watched all these professional videos when I first learned to get back into darts, right? And I watched this guy that's a world champion, makes millions of dollars a year throwing darts, is my size, and got these big pints of beer. And you go online and put in professional, professional darts, right? And you see this guy stand up there, not very good looking dudes, majorly overweight. And they go, triple 20, triple 20, triple 20, 180. And the whole crowd, there's thousands of people there. And I'm going, making $1 million plus a year, going around the world freaking throwing darts. So I go to his video and it says how to hold a dart, how to throw a dart. And it said, A, put the dart down. B, pick it up. There's your hold. There's your natural hold. The way that you would pick it up is exactly because this is the way you hold it. 2, don't move your body. Just move from the elbow up. So hold your body firm. First time I did that, guy said, look through your fingers like a bullseye, like a target. It went right in the bullseye. And I went, I got this. No, that's called beginner's luck, right, Todd? And I'm going, oh my God, I can't wait to play all my family and friends now. I'll kick their ass. This is going to be cool. And I grabbed the next dart, right above the dart into the pad. And that's where people mess up. That's where people mess up. They take this personal. It's like, Todd, let me tell you about the response that I got from this person. Todd doesn't care. Did they say they were going to jump on and take a tour? Did they say that they were going to jump on a Zoom with me, I don't care about the response if they're the wrong person at the wrong time. You know, a person recently read my book, and he just wrote a book, you know, The Way Out, you know what I mean? Big network marketing book that's going out right now. And he read my book. And I go, can I ask you what the giveaway is? What was the biggest takeaway you got out of my book? And he goes, Robert, you said in the book that you only present to interested people. I go, why would you spend time with people that are not interested? And he goes, I did. So I would ask a couple of words to see if the person was interested in hearing where I was going, or to look at the rest of the presentation. And if they weren't interested, why in the hell would I spend all my time with them? And then if they decide that they're not interested, this is not for me, then I need to call Todd. And Todd said, you know, Todd, listen, I must have said something wrong. I must have presented wrong. I must have did the wrong script. I had to do something wrong, Todd, because I actually talked to someone that's not interested. And Todd's like, there's almost 8 billion people on the planet. I don't want to tell you guys this, but a majority of the people that you find are going to be the wrong place at the wrong time. Just go through the freaking numbers. Back to the darts in the wall. Ugh. That is so embarrassing. Stop thinking, throw another freaking dart. So if all you did is invite and put people in front of the information and just kept throwing darts, One of the best things that my mentor said to me that I'll share with you is that he challenged me. I don't know how, but because he was a little smarter and a little more experienced, and I think he picked up and asked questions where he knew I was little competitive. And he goes, Robert, listen, I put 70 people in front of an effective presentation in my first 30 days. I got 70 people to watch the video all the way through. Let's say you're half of me. And my response is, I'm not half a frickin' anybody. And he goes, okay, we'll see. Say as little as possible to as many people as you can, and let's see how many people you get in front of me. You get in front of the video. I think at that time, Todd lived in Irvine. I lived in the San Fernando Valley. And it was like our mentor, the guy with no internet, no phones, no cell phones. Todd and I had to promote someone via video because he lived in San Diego. Some of you guys are like making this too difficult. Todd and I couldn't pick somebody on the street and then ask them if they're interested, and then ask them when the next time they wanted to drive to San Diego. No, we edified and promoted and got excited about putting people in front of the guy me and him were learning from that just happened to be a blessing for you to watch this on a VHS tape. And Todd and I just made sure that the deal is how many people could we get to watch this tape, and how many people in our group could get someone to watch that tape. And I'll never forget when it popped on me, and I'm sure it did with his Todd. You know, all of a sudden I realized I had like 30, 40 people in my group that each had 10 videos. And I knew they were serious about changing their lives. And I went, wow, 10 times 20, that's 210. There's 210 presentations that happened this week. You can't get 210 people in front of an effective presentation without some of them saying, this is a no-brainer. This is a total no-brainer. And so just throw more darts. Just throw more darts. And so if no one's ever given you permission to succeed, let me be the first. I love and appreciate you guys, but I know one thing for a fact. There's going to be some of you that are not going to want to tell anybody that you were associated with this company. Someone moving from.
Sorry, Robert, I muted you. So unmute yourself.
All right. So that's my portion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait to take notes with the rest of the speakers that are here. But like I said, some of you are not going to want to tell people. One thing about social media that is sort of crazy is, do you guys know that if you don't drop everything and focus on this and take it the way it's supposed to be, listen, stop being stubborn, stop being rebellious, just follow a proven path and just throw darts for a little while, follow exactly what Todd and David and Dr. Dana, Stephanie tell you. And if you would just give it up, just surrender all and just try it a proven way for at least 60 days, and then come back and tell us this is stupid. Because I don't know how many people I talked to, and it didn't matter. I needed to get over 70 people to watch the video. I got 72 people to watch it. Out of 72 people, 11 of them got in. I did 27,000 worth of volume, which would make me a 25K in this company. And I made a little over $10,000, 35 plus years ago. Our goal is we get that amount of money. Some of you, it only needs to be $3 grand, $2 grand. We get that kind of money in your pocket from following a proven system. And guess what? Your confidence will change. Your enthusiasm will change. Your character will change. Your position, posturing will change, because now your presentation changes. It's like, listen, I got involved and I'm learning directly from Todd Falcone, and I made enough money in the last 60 days to quit my job. I need you to talk to him. That's just a different pitch, but you can't do that pitch if you won't follow directions. So love and appreciate you, David. Thank you so much for inviting me on here. You guys can all do this. I love and appreciate you. And just go out and put your head down and follow instructions.
Yes. Yes, indeed, Robert. Thank you for that. That was pretty amazing. For all of you watching this, throw some love for Robert in the chat. It's just sometimes the simple is the simple, right? I mean, Robert laid out some really good nuggets there, but it is about the simplicity. It is about the numbers. It is about the consistency. It is about the system. And it's just amazing to me, as Robert kind of articulated, is that it's just amazing how the average human can take something so simple and complicate it, right? It's kind of crazy. So anyhow, thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Speaking of simplicity, speaking of duplication, our next speaker this morning is Todd Falcone. And Todd's going to go into a little bit about kind of launching your business, maybe talk a little bit about customer acquisition and retention. But really, we want to speak to all of you because, number one, you may be brand new in this business, and he's going to help you, guide you on how to launch a business versus starting. But all of us are in a space where we're in a space of renewal with 2.0 on the horizon. So I'm sure he'll have some great words on that as well. So good morning, Todd. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Am I coming in loud and clear, I hope?
Yes, loud and clear.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, good morning, everybody. Robert, great job as always. Is his laugh not just totally contagious? I mean, honestly, he could probably, I know he knows a lot, but he could probably know nothing and just giggle like that and people would sign up with him. I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? Just that happiness, that enthusiasm is such an important element in terms of attracting people to our businesses. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very, very excited about what's coming with 2.0. A lot of stuff that you guys don't know about, but when you do, I think you're going to be really fired up. I mean, I've got a file here that I've redone. I've literally spent the last few days redoing my list. I probably have about 600 or 800 people on a list in here. This is a perfect time to be literally, I've got pages and pages of names of people I'm getting to now as we move into 2.0. And so just to, before I get into the subject for the day, this is a great time for you to kind of reprioritize and get yourself ready to really take advantage of all the new things that are coming with 2.0. I think we're going to blow away the space. I think people are going to be looking at us going, what the hell did you guys do? And, but as good as 2.0 is going to be, the only way you're going to take advantage of it is by acting, right? You could be sitting on the sidelines as, we completely explode with 2.0 and not take advantage of it. So that ain't going to be me. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to be taking full advantage of all the new tools and technologies and things that we have coming out. But, okay. So what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about, I'm going to go a couple different directions. Number one, when we enroll affiliates into the business, we want to do things that where that affiliate has success. Obviously, Robert mentioned, if our reps aren't making money, we're not making money. So, I mean, this is to me one of the most beautiful business concepts ever, because I can't succeed unless you succeed. I can't win unless you win. And so when you are enrolling a new affiliate, I think one of the most important things, and I would say, I'll use the word retention of both affiliates and customers. There's always a lot of focus, it seems, in network marketing training on, getting people, like, how to prospect and recruit, and how to put customers in, and how to put business people in. But sometimes I feel like there's not enough training when it comes to the retention of people, keeping people in, and making sure that those people stick and stay. So I want to focus first and foremost on affiliates. So, and I'm gonna give you the word. I may have mentioned this 2 Super Saturdays ago, but I think it's worth repeating as far as the word. To me, the key to success is communication. The key to success in this business, in relationships overall, period, end of story, is communication. Like even for this Super Saturday training, right? I communicated the message through multiple channels. I individually texted people. I didn't text everybody. In fact, I have a small group that they're not even on this right now. And that's my fault for not clearly communicating. I mean, I would, this channel, that channel, multiple channels, thinking that, okay, they're going to see the message. But by the time I communicated it. Yeah, that's right. They're already like, on to another, whatever they're doing for the day. And I was like, you need to get your team on this. That's, I'm going to take ownership in that. So we all have faults, but I think what we've got to do is do our very best job to communicate with absolute clarity. So for example, when you bring on a new representative, somebody who just signed up as an affiliate, they gave the company money, they are showing, at least through their pocketbook, their wallet, that they have a desire to change. They spent the time to look at the video. They probably got on a 3-way call or a Zoom call. They got, they took the next step, looked at the comp plan. Maybe there's a few, engagements. Then they come in with an executive order or something like that. So thus far, they're showing that they want to do something here. Now, how many of you guys have signed people up that after they signed up, they never did a damn thing? I mean, it's crazy. And sometimes it's actually most of those people, that makes you kind of scratch your head. So one of the things, for example, that I would say you want to be doing with your new affiliates is really making sure that whatever the communication is that you're having is heard and understood and comprehended, so that they know that you're there and ready and willing to assist them and helping them get their business up and running. And, like, for example, like I brought somebody in at the latter part, or I don't know, right before the end of the month. And now this is an experienced network marketer. She's here today. I know she's got some of her teammates here today. And I could take for granted that she knows what to do because she has network marketing experience. I told her, I said, look, let's go. You put people in front of the information. I will do calls. I'll do Zooms with you. And, I'm a text away. Like, let's do this. Let's do this together. Right. And I think there's some beauty in when you bring on a new affiliate, that they really realize they have an active co-participant in helping them get their business up and running and launched. Now, it takes 2 people. It takes them being willing to take action and you being available there. So what's interesting is Rhonda's probably had me on, I don't know, I've already lost track of how many 3-way calls and Zooms in the first week of her being in this business. And, she ranked her first few days. She's put in a bunch of people. She's got people already bringing people in. And I mean, she's doing the work, but I'm also there to support her every step of the way, like Zooms in the morning, Zooms in the afternoon, Zooms in the evening, Zooms whenever. I'll do a Zoom. I don't care what time of day it is. And so I think the reason I'm sharing this is there's other people that I've brought on board that I don't know that, if I look back, I'm like, maybe I didn't communicate as clearly as I could have, so that they fully really realize that, look, man, I'm here. Let's do this together. And especially when it's somebody that may not be experienced, right? I mean, I've known Rhonda for years. I know she can get it done. Okay. But then you got somebody who may be brand new to this space. You think a person who's brand new to the space is sure of themselves? They're very unsure of themselves. And so if you say, look, Donna, let's go out and do some reach outs together. Let's work together. to me, there's so much value in a new person that's excited right now. And if you can work with them to help them get their business up and running, that means being, figuratively hands-on. You're literally working with them, doing calls, doing reach outs. It's going to make them feel more comfortable. It's going to get them past their unsuredness or their fears or whatever they might be experiencing. And I think you're going to have a better, you're going to just have greater success, right? I mean, I know it's a numbers game. I get that. And, I've recruited lots of people in the MDC. I've recruited lots of people in my career. Many of those people never did anything. And I get that. I mean, some people just never activate. But if you, through clarity of communication, make it absolutely known to this individual that you're ready, willing, able, let's go. I'll hold your hand if necessary to get you moving. And I'm not going to do it for you, but I'm going to do it with you. Those people are going to feel comfortable, really comfortable taking that first step, because I can tell you right now, it's pretty uncomfortable taking your first step alone in this business when you've never done it before. So if you can work with them until they've, gotten comfortable, gotten acclimated, understand kind of what's going on here and where the stuff is and where the resources are, and just kind of get a lay of the land, and you've helped them to achieve some little level of growth, they're much more likely to stay. That's where we get the retention. So what I would ask you to ask of yourself is, how do I fare here? Look, I've been doing this for 35 years and I still miss, right? I'm far from perfect. I got issues. I can sit here and talk to next 2 hours about the issues that I got. You don't want to hear it, right? Every person has issues. Every person has their thing. I think I'm pretty good at doing this, but there's still places that I miss. So as self-employed entrepreneurs here in MDC, I think we've got to always be reflective on, how do we fare? Like, honestly, like with this one team that's not here right now, I'm like, shoot, that's a miss on my part, even though it was in all of these channels. That was okay. I missed that one. Okay. But all right, now in the future, I can hope to do better. Right. That's like assuming, for example, like I assumed that they were plugged into the channel. I assumed that they saw it in the Facebook group. I assumed that they saw it on Telegram. They didn't see it on Telegram. Otherwise they'd be here. And that's another thing. Like we never want to make assumptions with individuals where especially if you're bringing somebody in that has like network marketing experience, for example, and you're assuming that they know how to do a three-way call. I mean, to me, I think three-way calls, even in today's techno era, are high value activities. I will tell you personally that, and hear me clearly, the people that do the most three-way calls, third-party validation calls or Zooms, are the ones that recruit the most, period, end of story. There's magic in it. There's learning in it. There's camaraderie. There's collaboration in it. There's everything good in it. There's nothing negative about it. And you will recruit more people. You will build a bigger team. You will have greater degrees of loyalty. You will have a higher percentages of people that stick and stay and grow. And it's just something that I think is never going to go away in this amazing space that we're in. So really the main part of this message here is clarity of communication and making sure that your new reps realize that you're available. And some of your reps, by the way, are not going, look, I know I can be intimidating. I get it. Right. And some of my reps may be like intimidated to call, or I don't know if I just didn't want to bother you. Right. I'm not a mind reader. So I've got to go, okay, well, this is a brand new rep that might be unsure of themselves. They're new to this company, new to this profession. And they may feel like they're being a burden on me or something if they call me, when I need to clearly communicate, this is how we build the business. You're never a burden to me. Anytime you call, I'm excited and pumped to help you build your business, to talk with one of your prospects, to address any questions that you might have, so that they finally get it and they realize, oh, wow, this is this collaboration, this cooperative working effort to get the business up and running. And that continues over time, right? So I just think it's really important that if we want to get people to stay, and by the way, here's the thing, you don't have to be the biggest recruiter in this business to be the biggest income earner. Okay. There are people in this company that like Rafael and Christina Contreras. They're on the top of the leaderboard every single month. Their numbers are staggering to me. I'm like, I don't even know how the hell you guys do it. It's unbelievable. The numbers that they put on the board are staggering. But the way you become the biggest earner in this business is by working with people and through people and working in depth to help them develop and grow a check, not to do it for them, but to do it with them. And that is number one, communication. Number two is, following up on your word, like being a man or woman of your word. How many times have we heard, those of you that have had network marketing experience, like, oh, my sponsor, I had this really lame sponsor that never showed up. Is it the sponsor's fault? It depends, right? If the sponsor just enrolled the person and said, sayonara, see you later, I hope it works for you, then it's the sponsor's fault. It's not up to the sponsor, the enrolling sponsor, to go do it for them, but it is our job. It is our responsibility to assist those people in getting comfortable and understanding and helping them kind of find their way to creating some success here in MDC. And the other part of it is, I'm going to shift just briefly into customers. Like how do we retain customers? To me, like, customers are the highest value thing in this business, because that's where the true residual income comes from. Yes, you can multiply your residual income by building a big team of affiliates that all have customers. That's where the bigger money is made. But there is reliable residual income that comes from customers that are here, not attached to the compensation plan, that are buying our products and services because they just love them, because they're like, hey, I'm in love with the tincture. I'm in love with, cosmetology, or I'm in love with body melt, or whatever it is, but they're not attached to the comp plan. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to customers, and also the key thing is communication, right? Clear communication with your new customer to help them figure out how to use the products effectively. Let's take body melt as a quick example. Hang on a second. I'm gonna take a quick sip of coffee. Gotta love hemp infused coffee in the morning. I love it. So let's take body melt, for example. How many of you love a body melt shake in like lukewarm tap water in a shaker cup, just all by itself? Nah, I mean, that's fine. It'll do in a pinch. But like, you never know what your new person's going to do. Like, maybe you have your favorite shake recipe. Maybe it's half water, half coconut water, half of a banana, couple berries. I don't know what your deal is. If you can help your new customer create the best possible experience, they're going to love it. Look, I love the shakes personally. I think they taste absolutely great. But your person they may have always just used a shaker cup. And especially if it comes with a shaker cup, they might just go, I'll just throw in the shaker cup with some water. It's not going to be the same thing as 5 ice cubes, some water, half of a banana, maybe some PB2, or I don't know what, just, you might have, like, keep seeing all these different shake recipes that I see on the Body Melt page, which are great. I'm going to try some of them. But your job is to help that person have the best experience. Like the coffee, for example, Robert marketed coffee, I know, for a long time. The little sachets of coffee. Well, this right here. So I've had this coffee mug for literally like almost 30 years. I'm going to have to go to therapy if I lose it probably, but I'm good right now because it's in my hands. Well, I had a friend of mine that drinks coffee in this big, like 30-ounce deal. If he might think, well, I'm going to put one sachet of coffee in a 30-ounce mug. And then he comes back to you, goes, man, your coffee tastes like crap. Well, what? And you're like, no, it doesn't taste like crap. What are you talking about? Well, I drank it. It was like terrible. And then you come to find out he put one sachet in 30 ounces of hot water when it probably should have taken, I don't know, probably 4. Whose miss is that? That's our miss. We want to make sure, again, that we're clearly communicating how to use the products, making sure that we help them put products in a location that's convenient. Like if it's coffee, where should the coffee be? In the bathroom? No, it should be right next to the coffee maker. If it's cosmetology, where should it be? In the kitchen? No, it should probably be in the bathroom. I'm thinking most women probably using their cosmetics in the bathroom, right? So that's going to help them in terms of, oh, I see it and I'm going to use it. So our job also is to help people in some cases, create a new habit. Cosmetics, probably not a new habit for most women. They're already using cosmetics. It's just a transfer of brands, shifting the brand. But we want to make sure that we're communicating. Again, remember the key word in this message today is clarity of communication. And rather than assuming that they're going to just tear open the box. I mean, some of you guys have like sent, somebody's ordered product before and they get it and it sits on their countertop for 3 weeks unopened. And especially if we get them on a subscription, right? If they end up going, okay, I'm going to get on, I want to get this every month. And they're 3 weeks into their order and they still haven't even opened it. And then a week later, the same order comes. What do you think typically happens at that point? they're probably going to cancel their subscription. And so again, this is like an opportunity. And I think one of the things that we have to do daily as entrepreneurs is constantly reflect, is constantly go, in what ways can I improve? Like this morning, for example, literally right when this started, I was like, wait, I was going through the attendees. I'm like, hey, this team's not here. Where are they at? I messaged them and she's like, I'm on calls right now. I'm she's working the business, but she should be on this. And it's my fault that I didn't clearly communicate the critical importance of being on every single Super Saturday. You can prospect later after the Super Saturday is done, but this kind of an event is major. In fact, I would say, anytime, by the way, we have any major event, whether it's, a Super Saturday, whether it's mastermind, national conference, monthly webinar, some of you probably, and I'm sure I did too, had some people that missed the monthly webinar this past week with Josh and Jen. That's a critical, absolutely important thing to be staying plugged in. And the last thing I'll say, and I said this on the last Super Saturday, I think it's really, really important. And this also has to do with communication, right? Is having people plugged in to the phrase that I always use is stay close to the fire, right? Staying close to the fire is making sure that you, as the new rep, or you teaching your new affiliates to be plugged into your Facebook groups, to be plugged into the Telegram channel or channels, to be plugged into your weekly trainings that you might be doing and our job as the enrolling sponsor, as the upline, is to, even though we have them plugged in, to do our best, knowing that we're never perfect, to make sure that even last minute, hey, Josh and Jen's webinar is taking place. And I shot that out to a bunch of people last minute because some people are just, they're not as plugged in as we'd like to see them be plugged in, or they don't even know how important it is to be plugged in. That's the other thing. Some people don't realize how critically important it is to be plugged in. How are they going to know unless we teach them, right? If we teach them the importance of events, conferences, webinars, Super Saturday trainings, whatever they might be, then they begin to understand. The last thing I'm going to say is this, and then I'll finish. When I first started in my network marketing business out of the Irvine office many moons ago, when I saw Robert Hollis on video for the first time in a testimonial video, it's my first exposure to Robert. I was in the business for about maybe 3 weeks, and there was a seminar taking place, Basic Building Blocks, in La Jolla, California. I spent all my money signing up into the business. I had no money. And one of the leaders in the office came to me and he said, hey, it's not like I hadn't heard about this training event. I'd heard about it. And there's a lot of rumble. And I was like, I already kind of knew in my mind, this is probably pretty important. Everybody's talking about it. One of the top leaders in the office came up to me and he said, hey, are you attending this event? And I said, kind of ashamed. I said, I'm not. And he looked at me and he goes, do you want to be a leader in this company? And I said, yeah, I do. He goes, you need to be at that event. And he turned and he walked away from me. And he didn't look back at me or anything. He just and here's a guy that I respected, that had what I wanted. And to me, the message was very clear. I need to be at that event. There was no gray area as far as the importance of being at that event. And I scrambled. I figured out a way to come. I think it was $300 to attend that event. I slept in my Toyota Corolla for 2 nights in San Diego. Thank God it was warm. The only event I ever slept in my car, wore the same only suit that I owned. It was the only suit I ever owned at that time. I had a couple different shirts, which was good. A couple different ties, clip-ons back in the day, actually. That's even embarrassing. But that one event changed my life. That very first event is what helped me to have a bigger belief in the profession, and is the thing that made me stay. And I'm still here 35 years later. So we can't ever underestimate the power of communication. There was clarity of communication with that guy to me. And I think it's just important that we all realize how important it is when we're working with our new affiliates and our new customers, how important communication is. And that communication is super clear and they get the message. So anyhow, I'm pumped. I'm excited for 2.0 coming out. David, back to you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, indeed, Todd. And thank you for always gracing us with your presence, your wisdom. And, the messages you've heard so far this morning aren't necessarily blocks and tackles. In other words, we're not telling you what to say and necessarily how to say it, but there's a lot of philosophical pieces to this that are really important. And I think one of the things that really stood out from what Todd said was and I'll paraphrase it, is you got to plug in to stay lit up. And there's got to be a consistency factor with that. And those of you who are here, I want to commend you and congratulate you for being here, but don't just take it as like literal from your own personal perspective. The most powerful thing is like knowledge isn't power, applied knowledge is power. And so I would really encourage you to take this, and as you go out and build your team, even if it's your first person, help them understand the importance of it, or more importantly, help them define why they're actually doing this, and then understand the importance of being plugged in, but the importance of being there, so on and so forth. So thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to transition now. Now we're going to get a little granular with you. Like, I think most of you know that, and Robert mentioned it earlier, when we got involved in network marketing, there wasn't no such thing as the internet. And then clearly the internet evolved, and then social media came about 12 years ago or so. And now one of the easiest ways to go out there, as a matter of fact, the 6 degrees of separation has never been stronger. But one of the easiest ways to go out there and build your own personal brand and attract people around the world is through social media. And so Dr. Dana McGrady, who is, for those of you who do not know her, she's an incredible entrepreneur, holistic doctor, mama of 3 amazing kids, and an incredible network marketer. She found network marketing 7 years ago, maybe 7, almost 8 years ago now. And the thing that really kind of hit a chord with her, it's not that she wasn't successful as a holistic doctor, but what hit a chord with her was the concept of residual income. Now, again, there's so many terms for that, but really, I think it was probably a combination of that and the leverage that you get from network marketing, the ability to leverage other people's time, energy, effort, resources, skill sets, maybe even their relationships. That really hit a chord with her, because like one of her primary goals was to be present, for her family. For those of you who do follow her, and if you don't, you should. She's pretty good on social media. She goes out there. She's not out there building, a brand for a company or a particular product. She's building a brand of herself, and that's really served her. And for those of you who are not aware, Mark Zuckerberg actually about a week or 2 ago on his personal profile page made a post about Reels and the importance of it. As a matter of fact, he kind of went out there and suggested, hey, we're going to start paying people to do Reels. So you literally can get paid up to $35,000 a month for doing Reels from Facebook or from Meta. But more importantly, was going to give the tools, because they want people like us to go out and be able to capitalize, online. So we thought it'd be really cool to teach you about Reels today. And so Dana, I'm going to pass this on to you. I know you have some amazing ladies they're going to share as well, but I'm going to pass this on to you to kind of really open people's minds as to how they can go about be successful on social media.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. And thank you, Robert. And thank you, Todd. I feel really blessed to follow both of you because I got to learn and be inspired and built up before I come on. So, and thank you, David, for being the host with the most. And also can't wait for Stephanie's training after this and your training. So this has been an incredible event so far. If any of you are excited to learn more about social media, the power of social media and the power of what's trending on social media, get ready to take notes. Because I'm going to tell you guys how to do it in a simple way. And I have a panel of superstars on my team that are leaders on my team that are leading the way with Reels on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So let me share my screen. I have a little bit of info for you guys. All right, so Instagram Reels. This is going to be the training that's going to kind of teach you how to repurpose content, how to do short form video in your social media. So what are Reels? Reels are short videos, short, catchy, trending videos, and they're so simple and so fast and easy to film once you learn how to do it. You get in the zone, right? So they're short form video. They can be 5 seconds, 7 seconds. They can be 15 seconds. They can go up to 60 seconds. And you can film them on one platform like Instagram. I usually film mine on Instagram or TikTok, save them, and then repurpose the content on other platforms. They can be posted on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook Reels, which is what Mark Zuckerberg was talking about, and they can be posted to your stories, shared to your stories. Reels are trendy and eye-catching for your marketing and for your personal branding. And the reason they're so trendy is because honestly, in the last almost 8 years that I've been in social media, the amount of attention span for humans has gone lower and lower every single year. People, I think it's like 3 seconds is what it takes for them to decide if they want to watch your stuff. And what are people doing all day long, right? The reason we want to do social media is because we want to go where the people are. And the people are on social media. And the average amount of time that people spend scrolling, right? You have a lot of competition. And you have to do something catchy and fast. And that's why short form video really work. Reels receive more engagement than regular video content at a rate of up to 22% more. They're a lot faster to film. I don't know if a lot of you guys used to do a lot of Facebook Lives. I still do love Facebook Live. It's a great feature. But a Facebook Live that's 7 to 15 minutes compared to a 7-second reel, your time is spent better with the reel. This is also a very simple way to monetize your business. So I started doing reels about a year ago. I've gotten better and better and more consistent because if you stick with something, you're going to get better at it. At first, like my first reels were horrible, like anything, right? You crawl before you walk before you run. But now, a year later of consistency, figuring out a call to action, being able to tell people what I want them to do, right? Go to the link in my bio, click on my favorite CBD. This is the tincture you want. It's really not that hard. And then what I find is that I do have a lot of steady orders that come in that are just from my social media, just from people at night in their jammies, scrolling through Instagram, seeing a reel, finding value, getting sucked in, looking at my other content. And the few that do talk about products, right? Because we don't want to be so product heavy. Those are the ones that usually people purchase from. And where do you start with reels? This is often what people say. Where do I start? You're going to start watching some trending reels. I'm about to share my screen and I'm going to show you what I do every single night. I take 5 minutes to scroll through the popular trending Instagram reels and I save my favorites. Why? Because I want to be a professional copycat. It is okay on TikTok or on Instagram reels to be a professional copycat. The only key is that you want to copy maybe their sound or copy maybe the concept, but you have to make it your own. You have to make it your own because you're unique and people love you for you. And so you have to make it according to what you would do and the message that you want to relate. Do not worry about perfection. I'm going to show you a reel that I did. I filmed it on Tuesday at my daughter's dance class. I was in the waiting room at her dance class and I filmed it. It's not perfect, but I got a lot of views and people thought it was really funny. You want to make people think, you want to make them laugh, and you want to educate or add value. Those are the 3 main concepts, though, 3 main reasons to do reels. And you want to have a message. Even if it's funny, there's still got to be a message, right? And when you're doing a reel, you're literally talking to your niche audience. Who do you want on your team? Write it down right now. For me, I look for women ages 25 to 50. I love moms. I love holistic, right? Crunchy mamas. And I like people that want freedom. I'm talking to that crunchy mama that wants to make money from home. That's who I'm talking to. And how do you stand out? There's so many people on Reels. How do you stand out? Be yourself. Be yourself. You are naturally going to use the law of attraction to attract the right humans to your team. Have a distinct call to action. Okay. You want to tell them what you want from them. People want to be told what to do. Okay. So at the end of every single one of my videos, I try to have, or in the caption, I try to have a call to action, whether it's just reach out to me, whether it's save this reel, whether it's head to the link in my bio because you have to check out this awesome makeup, right? Always share the reel to your story. Story views count as reel views. But here's the secret. You want to have a hook, right? So I share it to my story. Then I go up to the top of Instagram. I'll show you how to do this. And I click the little square and I put a GIF over the reel. If you search in your GIFs, you can search for reels or new reel, and you can put it over the story just enough so that they can't see it, but they have to click to watch. That draws people in. It makes them go to your page. It forces them to be curious enough to go to your reel. You're going to want to use trending sounds and hashtags. And I'm about to share my screen, so I'll show you that. And then you want to post it on Facebook Reels and TikTok also. So repurpose your content. When I'm filming Reels, like say anytime I have my hair done, right, in the week, if I have my hair done once or twice, right, women never do their hair every single day. Whenever you're looking fabulous, take 20 minutes and film 3 or 4 Reels. Batch film them, okay? Never just film one, film 4, 5, 6, save them to your drafts, okay? Because you'll be able to always be able to pull them up to post at any time. And hold on 1 second. I'm going to show my phone now. All right. Here is Instagram. On the bottom, see this button right here at the bottom? The bottom. You're going to see the reel section. And you can go through them. You can go through them and save your favorites. Okay, so this is a makeup reel. Maybe this would be good for cosmetology. See the 3 dots at the bottom right? I'm going to click on it and click save. I want to save that reel because maybe I'll copy it later, okay? So you go through all your reels, you're going to copy them. Then you're going to go to your page. This is my page, right? You can see my reels, that little button right there at the top. This is where all my reels are. This is one that I did about CBD. Oh, it's not going. Hold on. There we go. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I'm going to try this one more time. And if it doesn't work, I'll bring on the panel because I want to show you guys their reels. Hold on.
I don't think I could live without it. So I'm addicted to this, not in a literal medical sense, but I don't think I could live without it. So
this reel actually got me 3 new customers for CBD. And it got me probably about 10 reorders from current customers. Okay. So I know because I saw they were ordering the 1500 milligram CBD because I put in there fear of loss that we're going to be running out of it soon. And they just lowered the price $50. So in a 5-second video, I got 13 orders. Right? So that's what I want you guys to think of. Okay. Saved videos. In your saved, you can go to all your posts and you have all of the ones you've saved. Anytime you're ready to film a reel, you go and find these and you share them. This is Jessica. She's going to be chatting. This was her body melt. Showing her weight loss. Is that a perfect video? No. Jessica got over 1 million views on TikTok with this short video on body mounts. She got, I think it's 300,000 views on Instagram. This short video on body mount. She has signed up more affiliates and body mount customers because of this video than ever before. This is a Nico.
Give me direction for my life this year. Start going to the gym. Give me something else. Eat healthier. Nah, give me something else. Stop shopping on Amazon. Never mind.
You make people laugh. They get sucked in. They want to be your friend forever, okay? Then we have Carrie. This Carrie, I think, has 12,000 views on this. 400 something comments. She got a new apartment, her and her boyfriend in London. And she did a trending reel. Carrie has 494 likes and tons of comments on this. And then we have Jen, who's also going to be coming up, and she is showing her new Mickey Mouse
Hey
ears.
everybody, here at Magic Kingdom, wearing my new beautiful sequence ears that are custom made. I will tag the place down here in the comments. I'm wearing my Wonder Woman Mickey skirt, loving it. I have my band on and my custom watch band for my daughter. Do you Disney
Awesome.
every day?
I love it. So what I love about this, guys, is that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a professional marketer, but you can constantly talk to your audience. You can make sales. You can monetize your social media with Reels in a simple way if you're willing and committed to learn. So I'm going to bring on some superstars that are rocking it out with Reels and TikToks. First up is Nico Baker. We saw Nico praying and saying, nah, she doesn't want to exercise. Nah, she doesn't want to stop shopping on Amazon. Something that anyone can relate to. So Nico, tell us your top tips on Reels.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I feel grateful being here to train you. So I'm going to share with you one important thing that I noticed on social media. It's not how perfect you are, and it's not how exactly you can do what every successful person does. It's consistency. It's commitment and consistency. I can proudly tell you that 95% of my business and my daily choice comes from social media. Why? Because I'm consistent. And now I made a commitment for myself, and what I challenge you to do, make a commitment to yourself and be consistent. Do a 90 days challenge with you and your team, and be consistent and committed every single day to do something. I often hear, but Amy, I don't have any following. Amy, you're lucky because you're following. Well, I tell you, I did not have following. I did not know what to do. I didn't even speak correct English, but I don't care anymore because I was told by one of the amazing leaders here, it doesn't matter who you are and what language you speak. What it matters is that you inspire people and be yourself and be yourself. And how can you gain followers? That was my main problem. I couldn't gain followers organically. So be yourself. What I suggest you to do on TikTok, if you want to go on, it's Nico Baker, and see my follow trends. So I found something amazing. I looked at the most watched videos and most liked videos, and there were the follow train. So if you go to Discover and you put on the search bar follow train 2022, make sure to start doing that. You don't even have to talk. You just have to point for asking people to follow you, to comment, to like your post. I gained in 4 days, guys, 1,200 followers organically without anything. And mostly I did 3 of them. And every single day I have comments, purchases, I make funny videos. And the most important thing, you need to know who you want to attract, who you want to work with. My number one goal is to attract women who are struggling, women who want to be independent, who want to be a stay-at-home mom, who want to be a present mom, and who wants to make a difference and live a healthy lifestyle. So I reach out to smaller accounts, I comment, I support them, I ask questions. And the most important thing, what I see in too many accounts, that people are selling products on their page. Make sure to use stories, interact with people. people, ask questions, share your story and share your experience, how you overcome struggles in your life. And people who struggle with the same exact problems will start following you because you can help them to find a resolution. So make sure selling your stories, share products, how the products change your life, because that's what people want: to be healthier, to have more money, to be independent, and to smile. One of my most watched videos are the ones that I'm making people laugh. And that's what I wanna do: smile, laugh, and have fun what I do, all these reels. So good luck, everyone, and thank you, Dana.
Fabulous. Thank you. Aniko is a 25K. She's an expert at customer acquisition and retention and getting people to stay. Hold on, let me mute out the background noise. And all 4 of the women that you're going to be hearing from on this panel will be at MDC Mastermind. It's a leadership mastermind. And word on the street is that we have a few extra tickets. So if anyone on here is committed and would like to come to Vegas and hang with all the leaders, hang with Aniko, then get your ticket ASAP. All right, next up, thank you, Aniko, for that. And we'll all follow you on TikTok. Next up is Jessica Falcone. Jessica is a 5K on our team. She's an incredible social media marketer. And I love that she got recognized for just a messy, imperfect, quick video she filmed of her body melt 15-pound weight loss in her scrubs that were too loose. Got over 1 million views on TikTok. Over 1 million views. That shows you how many people want to lose weight and how many people need what we have. So Jessica, unmute please and share with us your genius. I can't wait to see you in Vegas.
Thank you, Dana, and thank you to all the speakers so far. This has been really great. Yeah, so when I first started network marketing and sharing on my social media, I felt like everything always needed to be perfect. And I think that that was the biggest thing that I had to get over, was realizing that nothing's ever always perfect, and people actually love it when you share the real life stuff. So that clip, I was in the student clinic. I woke up like 30 minutes before I was supposed to be there. It was a total hot mess, like got to the clinic and, just was, threw my hair up in a bun, didn't have any makeup on, but I went to the bathroom and was like, my scrubs are literally falling off of me. I put my phone on the counter, filmed a really quick video. And then later I made it into a TikTok. It was short and sweet because, like you said, people's attention span is not very long. So creating something short is going to be more likely to get into the algorithm because people will watch it all the way through. And also creating curiosity. If you noticed in that video, I didn't say anything about body melt. I tend to not mention the name of my products because I want people to ask me about them. I want people to be like, what are you doing? I want to start conversations. I want to know who's interested, who needs to lose weight, who's wanting a solution, because those are the people I want to be having conversations with. And, typically if you put body melt, people can go Google that, they can go buy it without going through you. So I think it's just so much better to create curiosity. They can always go to the link in my bio and it's there, but I love it when people have to ask me. And also going back to something that Dana said and Aniko said is we all started with 0 followers. We all started with 0 customers, with 0 affiliates. Everyone starts at that same exact place. And I would not let that be a barrier for you to start. It's all that's all where we start. And honestly, when I started with TikTok, Chelsea, my friend on here, she was like, okay, we're going to do TikTok. We're going to do 3 a day. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go. I'm already doing Facebook. I'm already doing TikTok, or I'm already doing Instagram. And I felt like I don't have the time for it, but I just decided. Chelsea challenged me to do 3 a day and I went for it. And I had to get my mindset. At first, I felt like I was wasting time. I was spinning my wheels. I was putting all this content out and nobody was watching it. And then I had to shift my mindset. And this was kind of going back to when I started my business too. I had to shift my mindset from being like, nobody's listening to me, nobody wants to join my team, nobody's following me. And I had to shift my mindset and be like, you know what? I'm already successful. In the future, I'm already successful. I already have gone viral. I've already got all these followers. I already have all these customers. And I had to believe it and come from that place of posture of already having that success and believing in it. And that's when things started moving for me. That's when, like, all of a sudden, one night I had a video go viral. The next day I had another one. The next week I had 1 million views on a video. And I really just want to emphasize that belief of you have to believe in the success that you already have in the future. So I would just really believe in yourself. Don't let anything hold you back and just start sharing. And like Nico said, be consistent. You have to be consistent and keep going.
Fabulous. I can't wait to see you and Nico and film some reels with you in Vegas. All right. Okay. So next up is a superstar that in the last 2 years here with MDC, she fell in love, moved to London, is becoming like social media superstar over there because everyone's just obsessed with her journey, right? She's just telling her story. And she's coming all the way to Vegas from London for the MDC mastermind. So she's a 10K leader and she's going to teach you her secrets. So Carrie Moncrief, come on up, unmute, sister.
Thank you, Dana. Hi, everybody. So good to see you all. It's not 2 a.m. so I can be here. It's exciting. I want to just echo what everybody else has said in many ways. Trust me when I say I did not want to be live on video. I was terrified, and Steph can vouch that I wanted to throw up every single time. And then I just kind of was like, I've got to do it for my team because someone on my team is going to ask, how do you do this? And I was like, I kind of want to know. And so I just started learning and trying and testing, and just playing with it is fine. You can always delete it if you publish it and you're like, whoops. So it's just having fun with it. But I'll say this, a couple things. What I do in Instagram, right, is I listen to sound bites. Like I'll go through the reels and I'll save them, like Dana says, for some content ideas. But I hear the sound and then I'll figure out later what will match it. So this can be challenging because you're going to start dreaming in sound bites if you're on it like I am with Instagram, right? Like I will like be walking around the world and I'm like, oh, that could be an Instagram story or like reel. And so just finding your voice with the sound, let the sound kind of lead you and turn it into something that works for your pillars, right? So I talk a lot about entrepreneurship. I'm starting obviously to talk a little bit more about London and the place I'm at now. And now I'm being a little bit more open with my life because my partner is on Instagram too, and he pushes me to do it. And so the one you saw was our first. We just moved into our new flat, and I wanted to do a dance video, but he's blind, so he was like, "How are we gonna do this?" And I was like, "We can just drop it like Beyonce with this song," and I just kind of gave him a little direction, and we did it and had fun. So really, it's just playing. You don't have to dance, but that was my first one that I've done, and so it was just to raise awareness and have fun. And yeah, people want to see it, and that's helping gain new access to followers and conversation. Obviously, they weren't like, oh, where do you get your flat? They weren't asking me like that kind of stuff, but just show up in there and have fun with it. And then the other thing is 7 seconds seems to be the sweet spot right now with reels. So taking a sound bite, if it's longer than that, it might be 15 seconds, but you can stretch it down and edit it with a little tool in the reels and make it shorter. So that seems to be getting more hits. And once it gets, if you're doing a trending sound bite and it takes off, like the Beyonce one, it did a little early and then it started growing because more people were using it. And you kind of start showing up on the explore page. So people can, if they're looking for reels, they might watch it and then, start to like you and follow you and that kind of stuff. So I will just say, if you are not on IG or TikTok and those things scare you and you're a Facebook fan, Reels just came out to Facebook. So I think it's international. I know it's in the US. I have it here. So and I won't get it if it's not released here. And that's a safe place to start playing with it. It's they're when they release a new technology like that, they're going to grow faster. So you might get more views. And then you just realize you never know who's watching. And the coolest thing out of this has been for me is sometimes people will call me now, friends that I'm talking to back home, and they're like, just so you know, like, you made me laugh today, or you kind of inspired me to try something new. And, it's just me getting out of my way with it. And so you never know who you're encouraging to do something big in their own life or have some fun on a day that they needed to just see and laugh and have some fun. So thank you.
Fabulous. Awesome. Awesome. So Carrie, just first of all, the reason that she captivates her audience is because she's real. She makes people laugh. She has a message. She's on purpose with her content, and she's consistent with it. All of these women are actually. And Carrie keeps getting better. You just get better with time. Right? You put in the work, but you just get better as you go. I laugh when I look at my early reels. I laugh, but people loved them, right? So it's like good to be imperfect. So, okay, Jen Hoyle, 25K. A lot of you might have heard of the Hoyle Hacienda. Maybe you've been invited there, maybe not, or maybe you will be one day. But her house is pretty famous. That's where we host all of our team retreats. She's incredible leader on our team. She's got a beautiful family, 9 kids, a lot to make content about. So Jen, jump on and share us your quick tips and what's been working for you.
Hey, Dana, thank you so much. First, I want to say, Jess and Nico, Carrie, you inspire me so much, and Dana. And they're fabulous, right, guys? They're just so amazing. They inspire me. And as Todd said, stay close to the fire. I didn't know how to do any of this, no reels, nothing. And so I found people that I look up to, that I love, that I think are funny and hilarious and entertaining. And that's all the ladies you just heard of. And a lady that was not on here is Tina Joy Carroll. And so that video Dana shared from February 2nd of this year, I got to go to Disney with Tina Joy Carroll and her beautiful daughter and grandson. And she showed me some of her tips. So I'm going to talk about those real quick. And that actually, she showed me, Jen, it's easy. Just put your phone on that trash can. I propped it up with a cup I had and just leaned into it. And she showed me how easy it can be. Definitely, you want to keep it to those 7 seconds. Like Carrie said, that is the magic number right now. You don't even have to do it much longer than that. Just keep it short and simple. The other thing that I kept doing was comparing myself to these ladies. Comparison is the thief of all joy, right? Don't compare yourself. People are following you for a reason. They're not following Dana. They're not following Jess. They're not following Nico. They're following you. They don't even know those people. So definitely just keep to you, keep to your authentic you. And the other thing I want to share, if you don't have content, I want to give you some ideas because, I have 9 kids, but still sometimes I struggle. I'll go out to the beach and I'll just do scenery views and then put some beautiful, inspiring quotes to it. People are loving that. People like you've heard today, they want to feel inspired. They want to feel loved. They want to be entertained. So definitely just find little things. I hear people say, I don't have an interesting life. I don't have anything to share. But think about the things you love in your community. I've been doing reels of little shops that I frequent, and then I post them and I hashtag my town. And I went to an event last night in my town. It's called First Friday. And I actually talked to some people that have been seeing my organic Wonder Woman pop up, and I've been giving them little tours of the different places in town. So stay consistent. That is my biggest tip to you. And that's what Tina told me. You just have to outlast everybody else because most people are not consistent. That is what she told me. That is what sticks in my head every day when I'm like, my goal is 3 a day. And I think, Jen, you just have to do it today and outlast everybody else. And that's what I do. And I just try to bring joy and love to people. And I wish you the best. And if, follow me, and I'd love to give you tips. And the last thing I wanted to share, I just watched a training this morning. And if you don't have any content, you don't know how to get creative, go find people that are viral and duet and stitch their video into yours, and it will help you to gain attention and to blow up. So that's one big tip I learned this morning. So love you all. This is by far the best team ever, as you know, and Todd and Robert and Dave, thank you too. You guys are amazing.
All right. I can't wait to see the reels that Jen does in Vegas at MDC Mastermind. And the thing about it is I'll end with this. People purchase from those they know, love, and trust. Okay. And perfect strangers on social media get the know, love, and trust from your reels, right? More than just a photo, a little short video of you being funny. They're going to feel like they know you. They're going to feel like they're welcomed into your world. They're going to feel like they're a part of your inner circle. Okay. And so when that happens, they purchase from you authentically and genuinely, because it's something that will help them, right? We have products that will help them. And so it's just a way of getting out there, marketing in a genuine way. So thank you, ladies, superstars, Carrie and Nico, Jess and Jen, all rock stars, all leaders, and they're all, every single one of you is going to explode when 2.0 comes out, and we're all building into 2.0. That's why we're revving up. We're not stopping. We're not slowing down. We're rocking it all the way, going right into 2.0. That's the vision, taking this company to $1 billion. So thank you so much. The other thing is, at Todd Falcone just posted his very first reel on Instagram. And so I think all 115 of us should go give it some love. All right, guys. Thanks, Dave. I'm sending it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dana.
His reel. Sorry, he posted his reel on Facebook. It's his very first one, Todd Falcone. So go give it some love.
Definitely going to do that in a couple of moments here. Thank you, Dana. Appreciate that. And again, Nico, Jessica, Jen, and Carrie, thank you for all your wisdom and the value you brought. That was pretty cool. So for those of you who are new to this, I think that's the challenge for the day, right? Go out and do a reel. Go out and do something fun. See what happens. It'll be a hoot. Okay, great. So let's transition here. We got 30 more minutes of our training for this morning. And our next speaker is a 10K affiliate with our business. Her name is Stephanie Schoolmeester. She hails from Colorado, but I think she's in Florida today, and has a background of as a school teacher, but really was on the freedom train. Really focused on creating freedom for herself, and that's how she got involved in network marketing, quite honestly. So what she's going to focus on here for a couple moments is how to ignite your inner fire. And this is a really interesting thing, and she's really powerful at this. So really just kind of sit back. Here's what I would suggest you do. Just kind of sit back, take a deep breath, and just kind of take in what she has to say, because I think it'll really help you as you move forward with your business. So Stephanie, are you with us?
Yes, I am. David, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. Good morning, and take it away.
All right. First of all, I just want to start with gratitude. Robert Hollis, you brought that in this morning, and I just want to thank you so much. I feel so incredibly honored to be here today to sit with literally the greats of the greats. So thank you for having me. And as David said, I am an energetic coach. He actually didn't say that. So I was a teacher, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story into entrepreneurship, and then get ready, because I'm going to teach you how to ignite your inner fire. I'm doing a 20-minute talk. Don't worry, David, it's not 20 minutes, within 10 minutes. So you got to be hanging tight with me. I'm going to go fast, but we're going to learn lots of great content. So I have been a teacher for over 22 years, actually 30, but 22 years in the school system. And, I was really good at it. I love to serve, but I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. I was not taking care of myself. I was great at showing up for everybody else, but I was terrible at showing up for myself. And it got to a point where, I was in that burnout stage, and I am a huge skier. Todd and I have that in common. There'd be powder days and I'd be teaching. I was like, oh man, I'm stuck in my classroom. I can't leave. And, and I really was craving that freedom. That's when I found network marketing. And David Skultety told me, and I will never forget this, and it still brings me tears every single time I say it, when we have been to multiple beaches together, and he has said, Stephanie, I will teach you to work from any beach in the world. Now, I didn't believe him at first. I thought I had to stay teaching. And here I am going to cry. I am in Florida for the second year in a row for 3 weeks with my mom. Do you know how precious this is? And I want to share this piece too. My mom has been coming here for 30 years. I have been here, count on my hands, you guys, because I was always working as a teacher. I couldn't leave my students during February. Who would ever think of doing that? And here I am, going on sunset walks with my mom every day, going swimming with her, having this quality time that I am now getting to have with her at this time of our lives. I mean, it is literally the time of our life. So network marketing and having this freedom lifestyle has been how I've been able to do this. So thank you, David, from the bottom of my heart for bringing this into my life. So now I want to get to our content for today. So I am going to teach you how to ignite your inner fire. This is so important for where we are right now, going into 2.0. We talked about all of these things about what we need to do for others in our team. But here's the deal, you guys, if you can't lead yourself, we're in trouble. So this is teaching you, how do I lead myself? How do I ignite my fire? So what I do in my coaching business, now that I've left teaching completely, my job is to that godlike dream that you have. So I want you to think of that godlike dream. It should be way up here. You can't see how hard my hands are, but that should be how high it is. If it's not that high, it needs to be higher. So what I do is I help my clients match the energy in order to reach their godlike dream. We get all of these things that stand in our way, our limiting beliefs. I call it the itty bitty shitty committee. Raise your hand if you've had that itty bitty shitty committee. I see Robert Hollis laughing. Come in and say, you're not good enough. You can't do this. Who do you think you are, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I came up with a new term for that. We're going to go in and we're going to be the inner love committee. We're going to go shine that light on those parts of ourselves that need more love, not less. So that is what our goal is today. And I want to read you Einstein's quote, because yes, mindset is key. But if you do not check your energy, you guys, energy is everything. So energy is everything. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality of what you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. There can be no other way. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get to that energy that's going to help us get into igniting our fire. Okay, so in order for us to know where we're going, we have to set our GPS. How many times I could get lost in a paper bag? If I don't set that GPS, I'm everywhere. So we have to know where we're going. We've heard this multiple times. Your why that makes you cry. And I'm going to take it even that this step further is really that crying is that emotional why, you guys. Yes. Do I want financial freedom? Of course I do. But to be able to have this freedom, have my mom that just walked by and is listening to me train right now and be able to be here with her when I have it, to have this time is everything to me. So my why is to create a life and a business around my soul and to help others do the same. So I really want you to take a moment and pause. What is your why? Why are you doing this? And just think about that. And if it's not big enough that it doesn't make you choke up or want to cry, make it bigger. That is so, so important. Okay. So does everybody, let me know you have a hands if you have your why. Does everybody have your why? By the way, I can't really focus on the chat and this, but I'm going to go back and read everything. So I'd love to hear you share your why in the chat. Claim your why. Why are you doing this? Then as you do that, we're going to do a gut check right now. We're going to do a reality check. Where are you in that why? How far are you to that godlike goal that you have? Are you there yet? I think if you're there yet, then it's like, I think create another goal, right? Create another goal because we're always growing and evolving. So now we're going to take a moment to create that gut check. See where you're at. We're going to do a little checkpoint along our journey. Now, one thing I want to mention, this is not about, you never ever want to make yourself feel shameful that you didn't reach your goal. You never want to come in here and say, make yourself feel guilty. That gets you nowhere. In fact, it gets you on a downward energetic spin. I love seeing these whys, by the way, come in. This is awesome. We want to get you on the energetic spin up. So the way you do that, again, grateful. I'm so grateful that I was able to do this. I was so grateful I was able to do this. Give yourself credit. Give yourself love. Okay, so now what we're going to do is these whys are coming in. I love seeing this. Yes, time and financial freedom. Fantastic. I love it. So I'm going to have you close your eyes. Like I said, I'm an energetic coach. Everything is energy, and breath is the bridge to your soul. So this is, we're going to do a little telescope into our soul. I like to say that I'm a soul shiner, not a shoe shiner, but we're going to shine your soul today. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you just to think about, where are you at right now? Let's just do a check into our soul. And I'm going to give you a strategy. This is called AAA. I want you to become aware of what you're feeling, where you're at. I want you to acknowledge what you're feeling, and I want you to accept that, not judge it, accept it. And I want you to feel that. I want you to feel where you are. Just become just clear where you're at. And I want you to see is that we're bringing up that itty bitty shitty committee again. Is there any part of you that's saying, I'm not worthy enough? If it is, I want you to bring more love into that, not less. What part of yourself needs more love right now? Give that more love. So we're actually, in order for us to bring in that light and ignite our fire, we have to go to the darkness sometimes. So we're in that dark place, and you can put your hands somewhere on your body and just take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want you just to soothe this place. I want you to give this place love. This is what it needs to grow. Ask yourself, what do you need to say to yourself? Give yourself that love, create space to be. As we are learning to be with this place, we actually are learning to grow this place so we can get to where we want to go with igniting that fire. So give that place what it needs. Send it love, send it light. I want you to think of a mantra or an affirmation that you can say to this place. One thing, my mantra is, my mission is greater than my fear. That's how I've gotten out of my way to speak here today, to speak on stages. I get myself out of my fear. So give yourself that love, share an affirmation. Beautiful. Our greatest wounds and our fears can turn into our greatest gifts if we allow them. So visualize more light and more love coming into this place. Give it radical love. Beautiful. Create that affirmation. And as you close your eyes, I just want to read this quote. Who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who am I not to be that? So I want you to think about this love and this light coming in. And now I want you to open your eyes, and I want you to remember this part of yourself. This is like stoking your fire. You need to go back and stoke this fire every single day to ignite your fire. That part of yourself, it's your inner child. It will keep tugging on you and keep bringing you down energetically if you don't give it love. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you how to raise that energy. Okay, we're going to stand up. So we're going to raise that energy. I want you to stand up. Okay, I want you to think of something you want to claim. Okay, and this is a breath pattern that's going to help you with that. So I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. I want you to, it's like a fire breath. Okay, in through your nose, out through your nose. Start breathing. It's like my hair. I feel like a lion right now with being in the cup and the Florida hair. So just breathe it in. Feel that fire burning inside of you. Start to visualize what you want to claim. Breathe it in, Now, I want you to put your hands on your heart, okay? I want you to notice my body for a moment, and I want you to see it like this. This is when I'm in a posture that cannot make any difference. I can't claim anything because I'm down, I'm guarded. But when you take your fingertips and you bring your heart out, you literally become magnetic. Your energetic field is 6 feet around you. So when you come in from your heart and you claim what you are wanting, you literally, it's like little things that you're attracting out to everyone around you. That's how you're going to bring in the most amazing business partners, because I'm going to say, who doesn't want to work with someone that is aligned and in their heart center? I think of Robert Hollis. That is like who you want to work with, right? So find that heart energy. I want you to think about what you want to claim, okay, from that heart space. Because here's the thing, my mentor says this all the time, Donnie Epstein, claim extraordinary or ordinary will claim you every single time. So claim it, okay? So now what is your mantra? What are you claiming? My mantra is my mission is greater than my fear, okay? Now, I want you to put your hands up. I want you to feel that. I want you to feel yourself claiming it. And on the count of 3, we're going to say your mantra and you're going to bring it down and you're going to claim it, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Say your mantra. My mission is greater than my fear. Bring it down. Boom. Feel your heart expanding. There's your magnetism. Okay. That's it. That's as simple as that can be, you guys. You can have a seat if you'd like. So you can put music on. I didn't have time to do that. I usually do that. Jump up and down, get your physiology to change. Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. The last thing, really quick, I promise, David, super quick. I want you to think of 2 emotions. This is another way we're going to raise your energy. We call this an emotional bundle. Okay. I'm doing this in an alchemy course that I'm taking right now. I want you to put your hands up like this. Think about 2 emotions that you want to bring in to infuse this why that you have. Okay. Bring those emotions in. So for me, my emotions were bravery and authenticity, because as long as I was being brave and authentic, I could do anything. Okay. So bring in those, whatever emotions are that's going to get you out of your comfort zone, because there's no magic that happens in your comfort zone. Get yourself out, feel those emotions. So for me, it's bravery, it's authenticity. So I want you to, we're going to titrate back and forth energetically to our 2 hands. So start feeling it. So I go to bravery, I feel that. I go to authenticity, I feel it. I'm starting to infuse my energetic field right now. That's what we're doing. We're raising our energy. Okay. I'm starting to get really hot. I don't know if anyone else is, but that's what happens. So start feeling your energetics move. Start feeling your 2 different bundles of your emotions. Start feeling them, feel them together. Breathe it in, feel that in your heart. And then the count of 3, we're going to bring them up and we're going to close it up and we're clap our hands. Ready? 1, 2, 3, bring it forward, bring it up. And now you've just infused 2 emotional bundles together. Tip to keep going forward with this, keep adding emotional bundles every single day to what you want to accomplish. That why, to keep you energetic, going to where you want to go to raise your vibration and ignite your fire. So the last thing I want you to do is stretch your hands out. I want you to look to your right, look at your hand over here. I want you to look to your left. These are your wings. And then just do a little flap. You are ready to fly. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you on energetics to help you ignite your fire. I love you all so much.
Can everybody see me? I think I'm flying. Can you feel it? That was tremendous, Stephanie. Thank you for sharing that. That really ignited my inner fire. As a matter of fact, it borderline put me in a trance. I'm not sure what my training is coming up here, but not just kidding. That was excellent. That was excellent. So I'm just going to take a couple moments here, guys, because we try to keep these 2 hours or less. But I want to speak a little bit on leadership specifically as it pertains to, excuse me, network marketing. But I want to preface this with sometimes there's a lot of talk about, leadership in general, but the truth of the matter is the majority of the people that enter network marketing, A, are not leaders, B, quite frankly, don't even want to be leaders. So I want to make sure this is not, so I don't want anybody to take this personal, but if you aspire to be or are on a quest to lead other people, or maybe even you already are in that space, I just want to give you some thoughts that I learned from a mentor years ago, excuse me, and just take it for what it's worth. Okay. So I've got 7 7 actual laws of leadership that I'll share with you. Okay, and hopefully just one of these will hit a chord. And if one of these hit a chord and you can actually apply it, I think it can really enhance your business, maybe in the short term, but definitively in the long term. So the first leadership law is very simple and it's very straightforward. And we've heard it in so many different ways, is that the first person you need to lead is yourself. Like if you can't get yourself out of bed each and every morning with the right attitude, the right posture, the right mission, the right purpose, you're not going to be able to lead anybody else. And so, like I've always told people, look, you need to be that person that you ultimately want to attract. It's very difficult as a headhunter in business in general, let alone network marketing, to go out and look, look for leaders when you're not acting that same way. And so one of the biggest mistakes that people make in networking is thinking that they can sponsor a few people and manage them to make you rich. And I'm telling you, it's a huge mistake. It just doesn't happen. I think Todd mentioned earlier, there are different people who, have different skill sets, and some are big, top recruiters, some not so much. For me personally, I got to be honest with you, I'm not a high enroller. I'm just not. It's not that I don't reach out to people. It's just that I'm very selective, because what I've become very passionate about is the concept of leadership and how to not only lead myself, but lead other people as well. And so understand that our business of networking is a business of modeling a particular behavior. So it's those particular behaviors that you do repeatedly that's just going to put you in a position to attract leaders. I hope that makes sense, right? So, and keep in mind this, incidentally, because this is another thing that I've seen people in network marketing do over the years, is not recognize that people don't work for us. Like, people don't work for you. They work for themselves. And so all I can say about this is, like, when you're ready to lead, or you're taking that attitude and that decision that you want to lead, you have to start with the person that's in the mirror. That's number one. Number two, the number 2 law, leadership law, is you grow your people and they grow the network. You can't go out there and take all these actions to necessarily grow your network without people that are growing themselves. This is a volunteer army. And the individual actions of the majority become the driving factor of what the network does. Okay, the individual actions. So this kind of coincides with, like, kind of leading by example and so on and so forth. And people kind of like, because whatever you do in moderation, your team or your partners will do in excess. Okay. And in my mind, it all starts with personal growth. Your business, quite candidly, will only grow as fast as you do. And I love what Jen is doing. She every week she's doing this leadership series, right? She's just leading by example. She really believes in leadership. And for those who are looking to, become that leader or advance themselves as a leader, are plugging into that. Again, it's not for everybody, right? But I think what's really important is that you work on that personal development. And this isn't about saying, this isn't like, hey, read 10 minutes of a book every day or watch this YouTube video before you wake up. Yeah, that's kind of part of it. But here's the thing, like, and I said this earlier, like, knowledge isn't power, applied knowledge is power. So taking that, like, that principle that you learn, maybe you learn something from Jen each and every week, if there's that one thing, and then going out and applying it, that's how you embed it into what you're doing. Okay. So I think it's really important, not only on a macro basis from a company perspective, but on an even individual team perspective, or your little sub pocket of that team, is to create a culture of personal growth. Because that's really what advances this business. It isn't, as much as we talk about sales and enrollments and customers and retention and all this happy stuff, at the end of the day, it's how you empower yourself, which puts you in a position to empower other people. Okay, so that's leadership law number 2. Leadership law number 3 is a pretty important one as well. And I actually kind of learned, this was one that I was really kind of like slapped, about this one in the past, because I didn't understand it when I first got involved in network marketing years ago, is that you don't manage people, you lead people and manage things. And this is also one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen people do in this profession is, as I said earlier, they get a couple people and then they just kind of manage them through the process. Okay, people don't want to be managed. Matter of fact, one of the core reasons people enter this profession is to get out of that management space. In other words, they have that 9 to 5, they have that other career, whatever it may be, and they're in that and they really don't dig it, right? So don't do it here when they're trying to get away from it from wherever they may be. And so I've always kind of looked at it from this perspective. You know, leadership is kind of like the ability to cause people to unwillingly do things they wouldn't ordinarily do. That's the magic. That's the magic. And I think more times than not, the easiest way to go about doing that is just by, again, leading by example and doing what you want other people to do, recognizing people for doing the things that they probably should magnify and do on a 10x basis. Okay, that's 3. Leadership law number 4 is understanding the fact that true leaders don't develop people's belief in the leader, they develop belief in the followers. Okay, so in other words, don't sell your team on what a great leader you are. You know, I think, you know, everybody here that spoke, they get that, right? Don't sell them on yourself. Don't make yourself the issue. Sell them on their ability to have more, to do more, and to become more. This is an empowerment business, guys. Like, you got to remember that most people that come into this, and some of you may relate personally, a lot of the people that can come and get involved in network marketing, they're kind of like, how do I say it? Like a little frightened. Like this is like a journey that they're embarking on that they're a little bit uncertain. So even if you're just starting out and you've got 2 or 3 people on your team, how about really like encouraging, giving some encouragement that they have the ability to do it. They can do it, and they can do more, and they can become more. It just takes that sacrifice. So build their belief in their own unique ability to be great. And I think you're going to find yourself like leaning into that kind of leadership role. Okay, so that's number 4. The 5th leadership law, I love this one actually. And this is another one that I didn't really kind of understand. And quite frankly, even though I've been in this business 28 years, it was probably the last 8 years that it really became self-evident, which is very simple. If you ask everyone to lead, nobody does. Okay, so don't feel, I mean, here's what I want to say about this. Like assuming everyone that joins your business is a leader or wants to become a leader, it's a huge mistake. There's something that I learned several years ago at an event. I think it was the what was it? The Association of Network Marketing Professionals. And there was a guy, his last name was Thompson, and he had this Thompson rule. It was the 80-15. What was it? 80-15-5, which basically said that 80% of the people that enter network marketing, they clearly don't want to be a leader. But the truth is that if they can make an extra $300 to $500 a month and just be involved and be engaged and receive some recognition and become part of your community or the culture, they're going to be thrilled. Okay. And where the danger is where you try to take those 80% and turn them into leaders when they really don't want that. And Robert will tell you in all the years he's been in, Falcone will tell you, Dana will tell you, everybody here who's been in this business long enough, they will tell you that the majority of your income will come from this pocket of people. And so you just kind of move them along. And you know, I mean, we do 3 things in here. We get people in, we get them started right, and we move them along. Full well knowing that you never know who's going to introduce somebody. So don't try to change people. Don't try to put them into something, into a lane that they're not, you know, they don't want to be in or they're uncomfortable with. That's the 80%ers. 15%, mind you, are 15% of the people are people that, you know what, they get it. They understand entrepreneurship. They've made a decision to get involved, and they want to get a comma in their check, you know, and have a single digit in front of it, maybe earn 30, 40, maybe $50,000 a year. And if they can do that, it's life-changing. That's 15% of the people that enter. That's really what they want. And then the 5% are the people who have leadership skills and, you know, apply them and want to become or are a leader of leaders. Okay. So don't make, I guess my main message here is don't make the leadership behavior the cost of entry into your organization, the cost of entry, you know, into your business. Okay. Because if you do, it'll disempower potential leaders. And most importantly, it could potentially scare away the 80% because they don't want to lead. Okay. So meet people where they are and love on them. Okay. That's number 5. Number 6, the 6th leadership law is understanding the fact that leaders nurture and celebrate the success of their followers. I just want to tip my cap to Dana on this because she does it better than anybody. Actually, Robert said it earlier about Zig Ziglar. I think for the last 40, 50 years or whatever, I guess he coined the phrase, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And there's two things to understand this. Number one is that you want to celebrate others. And I mentioned you, Dana, because you celebrate other people like the best of them. You never put yourself first. You're selfless in what you do. And you really, truly focus on helping other people advance. And that's the key to this thing here, guys. It's really the key. Even if it's a new person, the biggest mistake we can make is, and Todd mentioned earlier, sometimes we enroll people and they don't do anything. Well, again, are you onboarding them properly? Are you getting them out of the gate? Are you spending time with them to really understand why they're doing this, what they really want, and getting them that first win that they can use as a baseline building block? Because if you're not, it's a huge mistake. And I've made this mistake countless times. I can remember back in the day where I'd make a personal enrollment and I was so excited about it that I couldn't wait to go out and make the next enrollment when the gold mine was right in front of me. No matter who they were, it didn't matter. The 6 degrees of separation is alive and well. And if you just apply yourself with a particular individual and help them, amazing things can happen. With our business and My Daily Choice, it's the 1K rank. Like that has to be the center focus. That's the foundational rank in the business. It's not difficult to do if you keep it simple, as Robert was saying. But just remember, we nurture people and we celebrate the success, and that's the most important thing. And then lastly, the last law is that like the true test of a leader is not how many followers that you have, it's how many leaders you develop. Have you ever seen people in network marketing when they say, well, I've got a team of 20,000 people, or I got an organization that does this? Well, let me tell you something. I've actually used that language in the past, but the truth of the matter is it was like 1 fraction of 1% of what I personally did. And so I came to the realization one day, wow, this model is absolutely amazing. Why should I make myself the issue? Why don't I just focus on other people? So I've always used the phrase, look, there's no success without successors. And that's a true thing. And it's a true thing in life in general, I believe, but certainly in this business. So don't make yourself the issue as you're building this business. Allow people to fall down. It's like something my father taught me and allowed me to do in multiple fronts, both on personal levels and, in business and even schooling for that matter, is if you allow people to fall down and you're there to pick them up, number one, they learn a lesson. Number two, they don't feel alone. And number three, it kind of empowers them to do something special. So never do something for a team member that they are capable of doing themselves. How many of you guys have had somebody reach out to you and say, oh, I got this problem. And then you all of a sudden take it upon yourself to call customer service for them. Don't do it. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but don't do it. There's a number, they have a phone, pick it up. They can take care of this. This isn't really a difficult thing, right? So anyhow, that's my message. I wanted to keep this thing to 2 hours. I just think that we're in a very special space with My Daily Choice. Both Dana, Robert, and Todd articulated that. We are less than 3 weeks away from our leadership retreat. I kind of look at it as a kind of a state of renewal, for a lack of better terms, and we're in a really good space on that. And so my kind of final thoughts to you guys, as you go off on your Saturday, is number one, take the amazing information that Dana and the ladies gave you, and go out and do a reel. Apply something and do something there, right? Number two, remember that you have to be on purpose in everything in life, but in this business, it's really critical. Be purpose driven. You guys we don't have to get into a discussion about your why and why you're doing it, but do it on purpose and let people know your purpose, because people will buy into that purpose more than your product, more than your home-based business opportunity or whatever you're saying to them. So languaging is important, but being on purpose is important. Secondly, just get in the habit of asking people if they're open. We're not in the convincing business, guys. And I can't tell you enough that most, if you want to go from amateur to professional, Just keep it simple. I think Robert like laid it out very straightforward. Simplicity is key. Systems are key. When you're system dependent versus people dependent, it's much easier to do. But why not just get to the point with people and saying, hey, you know, I've started a new online business. I'm super excited about it. I got some amazing products. I'm looking for customers. Are you open to being one of them? I mean, does it have to be any more complicated than that? Or how about, yeah, if you want to be business driven like myself, maybe you tell them, hey, I'm expanding my new online business. I'm looking for people in this state. I'm looking for people in this neighborhood, this country, whatever it may be, that want to take control of their own destiny. I'm not sure if you would be interested, but are you open? There's so many ways you can spin it, but until you get to the "are you open" question, you're kind of spinning your wheels a bit. Go for no, okay? And then lastly, no matter where you are in your journey, in life, in networking, most specifically with My Day with Choice, my message for you is to think bigger. You're not thinking big enough. And again, maybe it's not my place to say that, but look, I'm trying to help empower myself as I try to empower you in this process. Think bigger, because you can do this and you could do it at a huge level. Will you do it all by yourself? Absolutely not. But think about the concept of finding other like-minded people who may see what you see and not being emotionally charged if they don't see what you see. Okay. So let me just kind of say this, Stephanie, that was brilliant. Thank you very much for taking time away from your mom and laying that out for us. That was fantastic. Dana, as always, you're amazing. We really appreciate you, and Nico and Jessica and Jen and Kerry, all the value you brought, absolutely tremendous. Falcone, you're a brother, man. You've been a brother for 20 years. I really appreciate you and everything you bring. Since we've been here for 2 years, greatly appreciate that. Sincerely do. And Robert, I've known you for a long time, man. And I've always loved your energy, your laugh, your aloha spirit, and appreciate you leading the way for the last couple of years prior to us showing up. And as you said, and what really grabbed me about Robert, about what you said is I know it's genuine, is that this is probably some of the most excitement you've had and focus in your career. And for us old timers, that means a lot, you know, because we all go through cycles, and the cycles of the ebbs and flows of business, the ebbs and flows of life. And we need things to really kind of like elevate us. So I look forward to seeing you, brother, in Vegas, and everybody else who will be there. We're not gonna need a plane to get home from Las Vegas. And so for those of you who cannot attend, we will bring it to you. And so here we are in March. All I can tell you is build into it. Don't wait for it. Build into it and through it. Okay. And we'll be there to support and just be fans of each other as we kind of go on and, you know, on our journey here and try to do what we can do for our own families and helping other people as well. So with that said, why don't you all unmute? Say goodnight, or goodnight. It's not even good night. I'm going to go play some golf. Say good afternoon, say hello, say something fantastic. We really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing day.
It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Love you, Robert.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Love you, Dana. Love you, Dave. Love you, Nico. Love you, Steph.
Love you guys.
Everyone. Love you, Jess.
Bye-bye. I love you.
Robert, give Terry kisses. Love you.
I will.
All right.
I'll see you in a few hours.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Robert.
Have a great
day, everybody.
See you, Ben.